so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked. That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot, episode number 61.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've confirmed it. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Tanner. Tanner, say hello to everyone.
What is going on, gentlemen? Welcome.
And today, on this Friday evening, we have an episode prepared for you, boys.
Don't say it.
An episode.
Don't do it.
And it's going to be a good one. So, first of all, I'm going to start by saying welcome to our new patrons, Hunter, It's the Pickle, Cole D, Wade M, and Derek R. Thank you, boys, for signing up for the Patreon, patreon.com/thedropshot. We are embarking in our seminal, earth-shattering, groundbreaking new Patreon format. 4 bonus episodes a month, $5 a month. And there's other shit you could get to. Go to the fucking Patreon and read and figure it out. Read a book. Read a website. So thank you, boys. Welcome. Also, don't forget it is September on Twitch. Don't really know what it means, to be honest. I'm getting conflicting reports. Subs on Twitch might be discounted. They might not be. I don't know. Don't really care. But sub to me on Twitch. Or gift them. Whatever's discounted. Or don't. Doesn't matter. Be on Patreon before you fucking sub on Twitch to anyone. We get more of the money. And you get more fucking benefit out of it. So it makes no sense to sub on Twitch if you're not on the Patreon. Because they're both $5. One just gets way more shit for you than the other. With that said, go ahead, Tanner. Go ahead.
I was going to tell you. So September, you get 20% off the first month of a new recurring 1-month subscription. So you get 20% off if you set it up to renew, which is what's default on Twitch. If you do 3 months, it's 25% off. But the best deal, if you go to twitch.tv/Razinon and twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot, you can sub for 6 months in a row, recurring subscription for 30% off. 30% off, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that. You're scamming yourself if you don't sub for 6 months.
True, dude. True.
You're literally scamming yourself.
True. And, in fact, there are 3 boys who knew this and decided to sub while I was offline. The Gamer's Prize, Silent But Sticky, change it, and Kickflip 806. Thanks for the offline subarinos, boys, on Twitch TV. And then, Tanner, any announcements from you?
Kickflip also hit me with the offline sub, so thank you, Kickflip 806. I appreciate that, brother.
Hell fucking yeah. Kickflip. And the others as well. Much appreciated. This isn't really an announcement, but I just wanted to say it real quick. The Discord is on fire. It's on fire. And I love it. I love it, dude. Join the fucking Discord. So much value in there. So many memes, info, smoked meats, tech support, squad assembly. Anything.
There's been a lot of the squad play going on lately. I've seen a lot of that.
A lot of squads have been assembled on the Discord. So if you're looking for a squad or anything, join the fucking Discord. Trust me. You want to be here. So keep
a lot of new members last few days.
A lot of new members. A lot of new frogs, and we welcome all new frogs to the Discord. And once again, I can't stress this enough. Join the fucking Discord. Also, I got some feedback. You know what's interesting? We've never gotten any feedback that was as fervent as the feedback we got about this, which I wouldn't have expected. But people were in an absolute fucking frenzy at my experiment to not shout out bits and subs and shit during the podcast. Now, granted, there's a selection bias because this was all in Discord. So it was the bias, it was a selection bias of people who have joined the fucking Discord. But nonetheless, everyone was pissed about this. So I've heard you loud and clear. Here's what we're going to do. At the end of each segment, I'm going to shout everyone out. Not each bullet point, but each segment. For Q&A, it's a little different because there are no segments really. So nonetheless, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a nice little compromise. Everyone should be happy. So thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. And now we're changing course. That's the point of the feedback fucking channel. So once again, join the fucking Discord. If you have feedback, give it to us and we can incorporate it. So keep that in mind. Also in the Discord, we got a lot of new patrons. And don't forget, you patron fucks, to suggest episode topics. We do it for you guys. So if you want us to talk about something, suggest it. And also, we could use help coming up with episode topics. So go suggest episode topics. Super fucking simple. Super
It's the
simple.
simplest thing.
Yeah, one might say the simplest. So figure it out. Figure it the fuck out. And then the last Patreon episode, last little announcement from twitch.tv/Razinon was an absolute banger, I must say. We've gotten some positive feedback on that episode. How did you, we recorded it last night, came out at noon today. How did you enjoy that one, TDS?
It was a fucking banger, dude. It was an absolute banger. We had a lot of fun recording that one. We haven't got a ton of feedback on it, but we've had a few people say they really enjoyed it. So hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's just posted today. Go and listen to it. Tell us what you guys think. Suggest episodes. Join the Patreon. It's simple.
Super simple.
It's both easy and simple. Just do it.
Easy and simple.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, our last episode was about what our ideal Call of Duty would look like. And I'm actually telling you now, I think everyone would be surprised at what our ideal Call of Duty looks like. For a reason that you wouldn't quite expect. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I give it away in the episode, obviously.
Yeah. And the episode was also a listener suggestion.
Yes, it was. So big shout out to Zerosio for that suggestion. It was a good one. So with that said, any other announcements, TDS?
No.
No? Okay. So that's it. And now we're done shilling. So sorry. Also, suck me off. And if you were listening for the jingle, here it is. All right. So, today, oh yeah, last announcement. Sorry.
Okay.
Shit on.
Any announcements or?
Yeah, last announcement. We're doing another Q&A today. We've said it before, these are our favorite episodes, and we have so many questions, so I feel like you guys are enjoying it as well. But I promise we're going to mix it up soon. Shit's been pretty busy for both of us the past couple weeks, and Q&A requires very little prep, obviously. So we've been doing those. This is like our third or fourth one in a row. So I hope you guys don't mind, and I promise we're going to go back to other things, other Saturday type episodes soon. But in the meantime, bear with us. This will be another Q&A episode today. And with
That being
that
said, everyone seems to love them. I haven't seen a single person complain. Everyone's like,
I
"Oh,
haven't
Q&A
either.
again? Let's fucking go."
Yeah, for sure.
So.
I just want to make sure, because I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, oh, fucking Christ, another Q&A, you know. I think it's because the quality of a Q&A is like entirely dependent on the types of questions that are asked and how much a person likes them, you know. Because no Q&A episodes are the same. They're all very different. It's like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're gonna get. Jenny. That's a Forrest Gump reference, by the way.
We got it.
You fucking boomers listening would know that
got
one. Any boomers in the chat? So
A whole lot of them, yeah.
Anyways, normally right here I would do playlist updates, but of course there were none. So, with that said, Nicomus with the gifted sub. Let's fucking go. And Aussie Menace, 300 biddies. 305 biddies, actually. Jesus, dude. Boys, thank you. Honored, humbled, and privileged. Nicomus is north of 100 gifted subs.
Sheesh.
On twitch.tv/Razinon. Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Lots of support. Thank you, dude. Really genuinely appreciate it. And Aussie Menace, of course, as well. The mad marsupial. Much obliged, brother. I appreciate you, dude.
Such a dumb word, marsupial.
Any marsupials in the chat?
It's one of the worst words I've ever heard.
Not a
actually.
great word, yeah.
Am I bugging for that?
Any
It's a shit word.
taxonomists? Okay.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, of course you don't.
Read a book. Okay, let's go. Continue.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
With that said, let's dive right into our question and answer segment. Starting with Jake Squatch asks.
No, we already did
answered
those
this
two.
one. Good talk.
We're on EV Dog.
Okay. EV Dog asks. EV Dog 4, change it, asks, will they ever fix the post-game lobby scoreboard? Now, I'm not going to go to Tanner because I'm just going to answer this for both of us. No.
Well, hold on. Well, what exactly is he referring to? Because the whole scoreboard is shit, and it's been shit since day one.
Exactly.
What is he referring to? Fix it? Like, what do you fix? What? How it doesn't show the kills and deaths?
I think he means
like everyone's wanted?
After a Warzone match, when you go to match summary and like none of your
Warzone,
names are
okay.
there. I think that's probably what he means.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't ever look at that in Warzone because I don't care about Warzone. I actually care more about multiplayer stats than Warzone. So
yeah,
got it. I've probably clicked on that scoreboard after a Warzone match maybe 3 times ever. Literally don't look at it.
Huh. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'll never be fixed.
Yeah, it won't be fixed, and I don't care. You guys, okay, look, dude, there's 69 days, 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 14 seconds until Black Ops Cold War releases. Let's not get hung up on this shit game much longer. Just fucking grit your teeth and bear it. A little more than 2 months left. We're almost there. Just fucking, by the skin of our teeth, we're going to get there, boys. So, if you're holding out hope that a bug is going to get fixed, stop. It's not. Nothing's going to get fixed. Nothing's going to get better. This game can be written off. It's done. It's a shit game. Stop. Stop. Stop holding out hope. It's a yikes. It's a yikes. So, anyways. Aussie Menace with the gifterino to Barnsey. Let's fucking go. You mad cunt. You mad marsupial cunt.
One cunt to another, dude.
Any sick cunts? Sick cunts. Watch out for sick cunts, dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Aussie and Barn, welcome back, King. Salmonella in the chat, by the way, with the 1 bit. I should ban him, but I won't. What's up, Sal? How's it going?
And it's the salt bit.
And it's the salt bit.
Even worse.
Any salty bits? But yeah. Aussie, thank you. And Sal, welcome to the chat. And with that said, appreciate it, boys. Let's move on here. Steel Switch asks, our number 1 questioner, by the way, Steel Switch. Big shout out to Steel Switch. We appreciate all the questions, despite, well, sometimes you hit and sometimes you miss. Let's just put it that way. Steel Switch asks, hi, Dropshot. Let's say Warzone. Don't call us Dropshot, by the way.
I like it, dude.
Let's stop there.
I like it.
We aren't Dropshot. It's like we're the fucking Chicago Bears or something. Hey, Bears. No. I don't like it. It made me super uncomfortable. Let's never do this again. Hi, Dropshot. Stop. Let's say Warzone will be the first BR that integrates players from 2 different games. Cold War and Modern Warfare. Yeah, let's say let's say that's going to happen. Okay.
Would you say it's seamless?
I actually haven't read this question, and I'm already fucking fuming. Activision has bequeathed, college word, both of you the daunting task to make it work so players of both games can play together harmoniously with no conflicting issues. What potential conflicts will there be, and what are the solutions? Wow. Actually, a good question. At first, it pissed me off, but I actually kind of like what he's doing here. So Tanner, let's just, okay, I'm gonna condense this question. Let's assume everyone who's saying it's going to actually be a seamless transition is correct, and it's somehow going to magically be a seamless transition. How? Help us understand.
Well, to start with, the time to kill is going to be different. The weapons are going to be different. Not this fucking question again. I'm so mad. I don't even want to answer this. Answer it. Okay. I hate this. I've talked about this 40 times. I'm never talking about this again.
Yeah. So Steel Switch.
I hate this.
Steel Switch has hit a nerve with both of us because what he's doing is he's bringing up a good point. The point is like, okay, he's calling the bluff of the seamless transition kids. And he's saying, oh, okay, well, it's just gonna work. How? Hey, how? Simple question, right? It's a very simple question that can't be answered. So, how do you get players from two different games to play together with no conflicting issues? It's impossible to answer the first part of your question. The second part is, what potential conflicting issues will there be? And what are the solutions? There won't be solutions, but here are the problems. Different weapons, different perks. One of the games... Oh, shit, we didn't get into that. We'll do that after this.
We can do it after, yeah.
Yeah. I knew I forgot something. Yeah, different perks, different health totals.
Different movement speed.
Different movement speed.
Different types of movement.
Different types of movement, different sprint out times. You can drop shot in one game, you can't drop shot in the other. So you tell me, seamless transitioners, I should make a Discord role for these people. I'm going to give them the role of seamless transitioner, and they're not allowed to talk in the Discord until Cold War comes out.
Yeah.
Or I can just put them all in their own fucking room. God, you guys disgust me. There are no solutions. Simply put. The only way that this could work is if they have the Warzone app, and then prior to even getting to the main menu, so you click on Warzone, and then it says, and then it comes up Verdansk, and then like Cold War. And you pick one of the two maps, and then when you pick one of the maps, it takes you into that game. But to say that that is the same game, to say that they're both Warzone is fucking dumb. Because if they are both Warzone, it is exclusively a name only. So, great question. Steel Switch. Now, Tanner, you wanted to talk about a little scandal that happened this weekend with a certain
I just thought we meant we would talk
streamer.
about it after the Q&A.
No, let's just hit it now.
Now it's just in the middle of the questions.
No, because I want to have this on the table, so if we answer a future question, we're all operating with the same knowledge.
Got it.
Does your shirt say meat curtains? Oh, meat church. Okay, some of it was hidden behind your Rode PSA 1 mic arm.
Is that what this is called? I'm glad you know.
Yeah, because
Keep that in mind.
Recommended it to you. So yeah, tell us what happened.
So let's just say, let me run you through my day. So I'm on my computer. I have a gaming computer, right? So I have 3 monitors. Yeah. So on one of my monitors yesterday, I'm playing Ground War, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year edition. I notice movement on Discord, like somebody typed something. So I look up. At my monitor, and I see Ryan in the Discord, and he's like, "Hey, it looks like Blank Streamer is streaming Cold War right now."
It's Dougisraw that everyone knows, so we can just say it.
I didn't want to just destroy him too. Okay, so he's like, "Hey, it looks like Dougisraw is streaming Cold War right now. And it's just the most nonchalant statement I've ever seen. I was like, what does that even mean? So I'm like, I'm just playing Ground War. It's dumb. I'll look at this, see what he's talking about. So within 10 seconds of him posting that, alt tab, go to Twitch, type in Dougisraw, pull it up. You could tell within 3 seconds he did not know he was streaming, and it was definitely Call of Duty Cold War 2020 Game of the Year edition. So what ended up happening is he streamed gameplay for almost 8 total minutes. I caught probably 4 of them live, but during that time, Raz was annoying on Instagram, and I was having to answer his dumb questions, saying, what's the link? What's the link? Google it, fucking idiot. Figure it out. So I was out looking at my phone half the time during this. So he ends the stream abruptly, didn't say anything, obviously, didn't know he was streaming. So I go to his past broadcast and I start watching it through. So I watched like the first 2.5 minutes or something.
Did you record?
I'm getting ready to screen record it, and it goes blank. I was trying to record it on my desktop. I'm like, I'll just screen record on my phone. As I'm thinking that in my head, the desktop video just goes out. So it was gone. But we saw Cold War gameplay.
Nonetheless,
for 5 to 7 minutes.
Nonetheless,
and we watched the gameplay.
Yeah, we've seen pretty much all of it, and I've seen it in high definition from a source. But it's not like
source.
It's not like it's hard to find. Honestly, you can find it pretty easily.
You
now.
can. It's out there too much. I don't even think they care about trying to take it down now. They just know it's too. It's too far gone.
It's too late. Yeah.
It's less than a week out from the reveal. They don't care.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, that happened. We've seen the gameplay of Cold War. It's definitely an alpha. And so here's what I'm going to say. I think that Tanner and I are going to wait until the official multiplayer reveal on whatever, the 9th or some shit, to talk about all of it in depth, because because after the official reveal, then we can have the information both from the accidental leak and the official reveal. And then we can talk about everything we know, because there's probably some stuff in the leak that won't be in the official reveal, and obviously vice versa. So I think it makes more sense to wait until we have everything to like analyze it super deeply. But I think it would be fair to give our overall kind of general impressions of this leaked gameplay of Call of Duty Cold War Black Ops CIA Operation Northwoods Edition 2020 Red Door. So Tanner, in general, what did you think?
I didn't see much, but I was not pleased. I honestly thought it looked terrible. The map they were playing was at night, which is already a huge Razinon sus. I don't want any night maps in multiplayer. People keep saying the visibility looked fine for a night map, but we didn't watch enough to be able to determine that. I don't think the visibility was great. We saw like 5 guns maybe. Can already tell shotguns are overpowered. The movement speed, the more I watched it, got better and better. I thought it looked clunky at first, like the sliding, but it looks okay. It's also they were playing with the low field of view. It looked like they were playing on console. Apparently, somebody said they weren't. I don't know. It looked like console to me. But
looked like console. Looked like a shit field of view.
It looked like a shit field of view. I don't know who would be playing that and not raise the field of view if they're on a PC. So that doesn't
in
make
alpha,
sense.
it might not be there yet. So that's a thing to keep in mind. We're talking about alpha gameplay, not even beta. So
yeah.
Anyway, go on.
So yeah, it didn't look great. I wasn't too happy. The gunplay looked awful. That's what I really like about Infinity Ward is their gunplay in their games. The map looked pretty small though. That's a good thing. The game mode was a new game mode, but overall, like if I had to rate it, I was not pleased. I would say it was like a 5 out of 10 for me.
Interesting. Okay.
Was not too happy, but let me end it by saying I thought when I first saw gameplay of Modern Warfare, it looked excellent. I remember watching it. I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be tanks and stuff. This is going to be so fun, dude. There's going to be modes like Battlefield. So we all know how that ended for most of us. One of the worst multiplayers Call of Duty's ever put out. Not talking about Warzone, just strictly multiplayer.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay. So, yeah. Actually, Tanner and I kind of diverged pretty significantly here, which is kind of surprising. I thought it looked pretty fucking good, actually. First of all, the time to kill looks just about perfect. It was a nighttime map, which I hate. Those shouldn't exist. But the visibility was way better than Modern Warfare, easily. One of the reasons for that is that health bars are above character models now, which means visibility is basically not going to be a problem in this game.
yeah, that's good.
Which is huge. That's a huge problem with me for this game, and I'm so glad I'm not going to have to put up with that. The movement looked incredibly smooth to me. The sliding mechanic looked really fucking crispy. Really crispy. Not sure about the movement speed. Couldn't really tell about the sprint out time either. To be clear.
Yeah.
The map, it's hard to get a sense for the map layout, but it looked pretty small and pretty good. You know what it reminded me of, dude? Fuck me. What is the Black Ops 2 map, dude? You stupid bitch, Tanner. What is the Black Ops 2? Hold on. Everyone stop. We're stopping the podcast. I'm looking up Black Ops 2 maps. Black Ops 2 maps. Here we go.
Havana?
That does not sound familiar, no. No, definitely not. What are you, dumb? You're dumb.
Plaza.
I think Plaza is what it is. Let me confirm. Wait, what?
Yeah, Plaza. That's what it is. If it's not Plaza, then you're dumb, so.
Okay, hold on. Plaza, Black Ops 2. Yep, Plaza, yes. It reminded me very much of Plaza. Nighttime, kind of same size, same layout. Seemed very similar to Plaza, yes. Thank you, Nil. So yeah, that, what else did I like about it? That's about it for what I liked that I can remember. But keep in mind, the reason I hate Modern Warfare is not because it has a ton of issues, but it's because it has literally 4 issues, but they're such bad issues that they ruin the entire game. It's kind of like you go to a restaurant and you get like the perfect cheeseburger, except someone took a shit on top of it.
Jeez.
It's like, this is the ideal cheeseburger, but there's just one problem, and the problem is so bad that it ruins the entire burger.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it could be the best.
That's a pretty bad problem.
It's a pretty bad problem. That's how I feel about Modern Warfare.
Is it a Wagyu patty?
It's Wagyu beef, medium rare, excellent special sauce, a brioche bun, toasted lightly.
Baked in-house?
What?
Baked in-house?
I don't know what that is.
Was the bun baked in-house? Did they make it?
Okay, because you said baked in house, and I don't know what
I
that
said
means,
baked in
right?
house.
Well, you
Baked in
didn't.
house.
You didn't.
I'll
So
keep that. Okay, run it back. Run it back.
we'll check the VOD. But yeah, just a great. Yeah, it's not like it's like a fucking Burger King burger, where it's just like everything's just kind of shit, just a shit fast food burger. That's not Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is the opposite. Most of the game is very good, but it has 4 really bad issues that just ruin it. Like arsenic in the bun or something.
Jeez.
So, when I look at this alpha gameplay, I'm noticing that there isn't a turd on the burger. So I'm not saying the burger's great, but what I am saying is, at least there isn't human shit on the burger. Which means I'm going to like it more than the great burger with human shit on it. Or dog shit or whatever other mammals feces you want to put on the hypothetical burger. So yeah, it didn't look like amazing, but again, visibility is fixed, period. That's such a huge win. Number 1. Map looked to be pretty small, relatively 3-lane. That's good. And then the movement was nice, but that wasn't a terrible problem for this game. Now, what did I not like about this alpha footage? Number 1, shotguns are secondaries now. Yikes. Huge yikes.
No. That could have been a perk.
Not that we saw. I didn't see overkill on either of those custom classes.
It's not called overkill. It was called something else. There was a perk called Quartermaster.
Okay. Okay.
I was researching this for a long time last night.
I'll keep that in mind.
And he was running that as a second perk.
For both classes?
For the class where he had a shotgun.
He had them for both.
No, he didn't.
He did.
First off, he was dead.
Did.
He was dead the entire time, so you were watching somebody else play.
Dude, I literally check your Discord PMs. I literally sent you 2 of them.
Okay.
Anyways.
I watched the video 12 times last night.
I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
So, okay, whatever. That aside, what else didn't I like? Lots of lethals, lots of tacticals. Didn't like that. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for my first impressions. I don't want to get too balls deep in this because I want to wait for the reveal and get real granular. But I guess that's what I'll say for now. Did I kind of miss anything, Tanner?
No. I mean, yeah, we noticed a lot of things, but like he's saying, we're not going to say all of them. We really we picked apart the gameplay, but we decided there's no point in talking about it now when it comes out in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So once we see all the footage, like he's saying, then we'll go back and say, by the way, you didn't see this in the reveal. Here's what was in this leaked footage.
Yeah, exactly. So just keep that in mind. But for those of you who wanted our first impressions, there they are. Jake down with the gifted sub to Cubus TV. Let's fucking go. Cubus, the mad lad, with us since the BO4 days, dude. Welcome, Cubus. And Jake down, of course, as always. Thank you, brother. I am honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. And Cubus, welcome back, brother. Let's continue with our question and answer segment. This one is from Steel Switch. Steel Switch asks, if your KD ratio, kill and death count was live on the HUD during multiplayer, how would this affect your gameplay? I have the watch equip that displays the KD, but based your character's position and what weapon you are holding, you cannot see it at times. Okay. Would this be too much information displayed on screen? So do you want your KD visible on your HUD independent of a watch that you have to buy and store? Get scammed, Tanner.
I wouldn't want it on my HUD, no. I want it like normal on the scoreboard when I hit tab, though. And I'm wondering if that's what he means. He's just kind of wording it wrong. Because the HUD would be super weird. That wouldn't make any sense. But it needs to be on the scoreboard. And if that's what you're referring to, it wouldn't affect my gameplay. Because if I'm playing like garbage, I can tell even without looking at that. Yeah. And I'll just rage quit either way, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I had like over a 2.0 KD yesterday when we were playing Ground War, and I was still fucking raging, so doesn't matter. Would this be too much information? Yeah, I think it would be. Call of Duty already has a lot of info on the screen, especially like what we're seeing with COD 2020, where there's going to be like the full health bar again and everything. So there's already way too much stuff on our screen. You know, when you get a kill, you'll get a medal, or it shows like what kill streak you're on popping up. Things like that. So there's already enough garbage. I wouldn't want my KD on the HUD. But believe me, I would love a normal scoreboard. Kills, death, assist, points, whatever. That's what I like to have. Yeah, but again,
kind of like every other COD.
Yeah, but again, this game wanted to cater to shit players, or I think that this is probably, now that we look back, it's probably an Activision move, and this COD 2020 is probably gonna be the same way. They're trying to cater to shit players again. So they don't like to show that because they think that'll affect if the person wants to stay in the lobby or not. When in reality, it's probably just how they feel they're playing.
Oh shit!
Black helicopters.
That's what I meant to press. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that. That could be the reason. Yeah. So first of all, it absolutely shouldn't be on the HUD. We already have a compass, which is totally useless on my HUD. I don't need more bullshit on it. Period. Absolutely not. And it's like in every other Call of Duty, it works fine putting your kills and deaths on the scoreboard. Let's do that. I mean, it's not hard. I can check it when I want to, and then I can remove the scoreboard when I don't need it. And does it affect how you play? No. No. Because you can already tell how close you are to your next streak on your HUD because it's in the bottom right with the little white bars. So if I'm like one off a VTOL, I don't need to know my kill deaths to know that. You know? So, yeah, that would be needlessly complicated. They need to just put it on the scoreboard just like they have in every other game. Once again, they're trying to do too much and they're failing. Just fucking relax, step it back. Let's not reinvent the fucking wheel. God, they piss me off. 69 more days, boys. But yeah, that's what I would say about
Good number.
about that topic. Okay, you're a child. Call me Al. Oh shit, sorry. Let's fucking go.
I like that one better. Let's start doing that.
Oh, 2 gifted subs. Call me Al, dude. The designer of the new Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast overlay with the 2 gifty boys. Al, generosity knows no bounds. Thank you, sir, for the gifty boys, and of course, for the overlay. Honored, humbled, and privileged, dude. Thank you. Much appreciated, King. And welcome. The small but vibrant and extremely humble broadcast this evening. Let's move on to our next question. We had some input from the Discord on this one. That's interesting. Rhodes asks, would you rather only be able to play MW 2019 for the rest of your gaming days or never play COD titles again? What games would you play if you couldn't play Call of Duty? Also, did either of you ever get into Overwatch, another Activision title plagued by catering to new frogs with little to no competitive, integrity? Now, before you answer this, Tanner, I need to remind you that I'm going to go piss out of my huge white cock into my toilet. So while I'm wrangling it out and trying to steer it toward the toilet bowl, go ahead and tackle this question. I'll be right back.
Okay. So would I rather be able to play Modern Warfare for the rest of my gaming days or never play COD titles again? It would obviously be never play COD titles again. Because it's not even if this game was, if I thought it was pretty good, average, excellent, if that's the only game I can ever play forever, that would be horrendous. So obviously it would never play COD titles again. What games would I play if that's the case? I don't know, literally any other game. I would play the Battlefield franchise more, even though that would give me something to do. I would play Flight Simulator. I would play more sports games. I liked playing NHL. I don't really do that anymore, but I like single players like that. Grand Theft Auto Online, Red Dead Redemption. Maybe jump into some Fall Guys, maybe. Possible for sure. Some PUBG, maybe still fucking ramping up on kids on Fortnite. I would play everything else. That wouldn't be a big deal to me. Because, like, you guys think I'm probably, like, bullshitting you or something, but I went a long time without playing Call of Duty. Like, there were a lot of games I skipped because I didn't care, and they were pretty dead on PC, so... Even BO4 was extremely dead. I only bought that... I would have never, ever bought that game. But Raz had it and convinced me to get it. And now this game, luckily, switched to cross-platform. So... that's a big thing. Did I ever get into Overwatch? I played Overwatch like when it first came out for maybe a month. Not long at all. I was unaware it was plagued by Activision shit, though. I did not know that was the case.
Activision publishes it too, yeah.
I knew that there were a lot of things ruined with it because I think I've heard Itchy complain about it a lot, but I haven't watched a single clip of anything related to Overwatch in like over a year at least, so I wouldn't really know. But I did play it at first. Not really my style of game. I don't like those, but for the type of game it was, I thought it was fairly fun. It's just never something that I would play for like a long period of time.
Yeah. This is a good idea. Make an honored, humbled, privileged emote. I have so many good emote ideas and I just don't have slots. So get me partnered. I need more concurrence.
Yeah.
Figured out so I can give you guys more emotes. Okay, so great question. Actually, well, okay, so Rhodes, this is interesting because the first question is the dumbest question I've ever heard. Would I rather only be able to play one game from 1 year or every other game? Obviously,
ever made.
Yeah, obviously, I would just say peace to COD and play other shit. What other games would I play if I couldn't play COD? I mean, we would have to assume that like the podcast isn't a thing. Like if we weren't doing the podcast, I would have, yeah, exactly. I would have no problem. Like, I I don't really know what I would be playing because like all my free time is either playing this game, streaming this game, or like doing this podcast or working. That's all I do. So if I didn't play this game or have the podcast, because obviously I couldn't have them. I couldn't have the pod if I didn't play the game. I would have so much more free time that I would like find another game to play, but I don't really know.
You would maybe even play a single player game like Red Dead finally.
Well, let's not get crazy. I'd probably be looking into that new MMO that's coming out. I really like MMOs. I really like MMO PvP. I would be looking into that. Ashes of Creation or some shit. I haven't looked at it at all because I'm not going to have time, so I'm not going to bother researching it. But I'd be playing that. Maybe WoW. Maybe SWTOR again. Battlefield.
But he won't play Red Dead Redemption. Keep that in mind, chat.
Battlefield 2. Anything competitive. I'm not going to play single player games. I'm an adult now. I don't do it anymore. So you'll notice the common thread here is I can PvP in all of that. So that's what I would do. Did either of you get into Overwatch? I played Overwatch when like before season 1 or in season 1, but I was fucking terrible and I like didn't play it for very long. Honestly, so, but not really, no. Good question. Second question was good. First one was the worst one I've ever heard, Rhodes, so suck me off, but I may have been drinking a bit. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind for sure. No, it was a good question, though. It was an interesting topic of discussion for sure. So keep that in mind. Face Esquire. How much time per week, month do you each spend working on the Dropshot and associated media, such as preparing for and doing the pod, videos, breakdowns, maintaining the Discord, etc.? Okay, Tanner.
Interesting. This is basically something we just covered on a Patreon episode.
It is. Patreon.com/thedropshot, one word.
So maybe we should just not answer this and you can go listen to it there. Are we counting like streaming too, or is that not associated with this?
Just count it.
Okay.
Give us the rundown, basically.
So I'm streaming 2 days a week. That's it. I wish I could stream more, but I already don't have time, which is already unfortunate. I could pretty much only stream 2 days a week. Each day, 3. Well, we're doing the pod, so that's 4. That's already about 10 to 12 hours a week. If we're talking about doing everything else, so I don't do the video. That's all on Casey's channel. The breakdowns we do, that takes like an extra hour. So maintaining the Discord, that's kind of hard to put a time on because it's just off and on throughout the entire day, doing things, responding to people. I don't know, dude. I would say 10 to 15 hours a week total.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's combined with every other thing in life, you know, and working full time,
having a wife,
it's
having
not
a dying grandmother.
It's not the easiest thing, yeah. I mean, it would definitely be ideal if I didn't have to work another job. Patreon.
God, we're shilling today,
Tanner Dropshot. We are.
We're shilling today.
We're just so broke. I guess that's what it is, dude.
Broke boys, dude. Any broke boys in the chat?
You broke adults, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we did. We had a behind the scenes episode recently where we basically covered this, but how much time per week do I spend on the Dropshot? Okay, so like preparing for the podcast, notes. I mean, with the notes, like some episodes, I can spend literally 10 minutes on notes, like today. Q&A is like the easiest one. When all those leaks came out on like the same fucking day, I spent like 2 hours on those notes. So that just depends. Hard to put an average on that. And then doing the podcast is obviously like 2 hours plus streaming is 5. So that's 10 of doing and streaming. We'll tack on another hour between those two for writing notes. On average 30 minutes is probably about right. And then, so whatever, that's 16 hours. Rendering videos, making thumbnails, uploading that shit. Takes a lot of time. I couldn't put a number on it. I'm usually like doing other things while I do that. Breakdowns, Tanner kind of went through. Maintaining the Discord, 0. I mean, I made the Discord. That took a long time, but now that it's made, I don't have to maintain it at all. There's no maintenance required. I mean, I interact on the Discord.
Yeah, it's not really maintenance. No.
Yeah, like I read everything, but I wouldn't consider that like working on the podcast. That's just fun to do. I like reading what everyone says there and stuff. So, but yeah, how many hours per week do I spend? Probably about 30, I would say, on the pod. I think 30 is like a pretty safe estimate. So yeah, about that.
Both of our numbers would be more than doubled if it's full time.
True. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. Keep that in mind. Wait.
Episodes 4 days a week?
4 days a week, dude. 4 days a week. 4 bonus episodes.
Streams 4 days a week as well? 7 days a week combined?
Okay.
I said streams. I don't know what you said.
Okay.
I said live streams.
I'll keep it
like
in mind.
gameplay streams.
Yeah. If we got it. I understand now. Yeah.
Stupid bitch.
I was totally lost.
So
Sandstoner with the gifty boy. Let's fucking go. Hell yes, dude. Sandstoner, appreciate it, man. With the gifty boy to AR Assassin, change it. I appreciate you, Sand. Honored, humbled, and privileged. Thank you for the gifted sub, dude. You've been around a while. A Damascus patron as well. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Much obliged, sir. And welcome, by the way. Let's move on. Next question, a good question from Tier. His name is Tier. Asks, is the fast time to kill in Warzone a good thing or a bad thing? I'm going to break this into 2 separate questions. Number 1, is the time to kill in Warzone fast? And number 2, do you like or dislike the time to kill?
The time to kill in Warzone is not fast. It's rather slow. It's slower than I thought it would be. I hated it at first. It's just more we're used to it by now. So I think it's a good thing overall. I mean, you definitely shouldn't be lasered and 4 or 5 bullets running in the open. That doesn't really work in battle royales. You need to have a higher time to kill. I just think there's too big of a gap between multiplayer and Warzone. And I think the way it would be to balance that is the time to kill be a little bit slower in multiplayer.
Yes.
And then that would make Warzone feel, more in line with it. It's just going between the two, super weird, big difference. But the time to kill in Warzone, I think in its current state, I don't think I'd really change anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always the overpowered weapons that you're going to be downed and destroyed in under a second and a half, like the Origin right now. But overall, for like the assault rifles, the SMGs, the snipers, I think the time to kill is about spot on. So I am definitely okay with it.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. I think the time to kill is like basically perfect in Warzone. The 2 things I would change is remove stopping power, because then the time to kill is dramatically shortened, and that's really dumb. Then it's way too fast. But without stopping power, time to kill is generally fine. The Origin is disgusting, and it can 2-shot you. Without stopping power in 2 shots, if you have full plates, that's absurd. So let's take shotguns out of the game, period. But by and large, I would say, yeah, the time to kill in Warzone, I think, is pretty much perfect. I don't know if it's good or bad necessarily compared to other BRs. I haven't played other BRs, so it's hard for me to say. And it's a complicated discussion that I don't really know enough about to kind of get into. But yeah, I think it's fine. Basically.
It's almost hard to gauge like if the time to kill is good or bad. Like I've never really played a BR where I'm like, I've played it for a long time, like, oh, this time to kill is terrible. Like, I don't know. Like PUBG, it feels normal for that game. Fortnite, it feels normal for that game. I've never played Apex. But, they all just seem... They flow with how the game runs overall, and it feels okay. So, I don't think there's much I would change. It's not something you ever see people complain about either, so obviously it's not a big issue.
Yeah, I would say I agree. I think stopping power is just like one of the biggest problems with Warzone. That just ruins this fucking game. It's so dumb. You can't even buy stopping power at the station. It's like literally if you get lucky and find it, you're just like so lucky because you're going to outgun so many people if you're not missing.
Well, that's the problem too, because I never find it.
Yeah.
How come I never get it?
I know. Yep. Agreed. Next question. Great question from Chewy. I'm going to say Chewy. If video games did not exist, how would you channel your competitiveness? Tanner, do you consider yourself competitive?
It's kind of weird because I kind of do, but it's mostly like only in video games.
Video games, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I think I would probably, I played roller hockey for a long time that I was pretty into. I think I would probably still be doing that a lot, and that would be my my outlet. I just don't play anymore because again, it's one of those things, just don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
It's far, you have to drive there, you know, it's just, you just don't have time. But that got very competitive, and that was extremely fun. So that would probably be mine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good question. It's hard for me to answer because, I mean, I've been playing video games since I was probably 5 or 6. I think that's when we got our PlayStation 1. I remember it was in my Sunland house when I used to live in Sunland, California. And I
Where the fuck is that?
It's by Eagle Rock in Glendale.
Yikes.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Oh, that's where Ralph's was headquartered. That's right. Okay.
It's not. Ralph's is headquartered in Ohio. Kroger, actually, the Umbrella Corporation. Read a book. So yeah, I've had video games in my life for like literally, I mean, 23 years or some shit. So it's very hard for me to say. But if I had to guess, I mean, part of me says like maybe something like jujitsu. I've done martial arts for a big portion of my life. I'm not doing it now. So maybe that. But I'm not a fucking athlete, obviously. So I wouldn't do super well in any reasonable fashion. So I did always kind of mull around about joining like some kind of fucking debate team or something. I never actually did it, but that is competitive and that is in my wheelhouse. So maybe I would have done that. And I actually would have done a lot better at that than fucking trying to be a competitive jujitero. I think it's, I don't know, doesn't matter.
Whatever it is, don't call it that.
Judoka.
Don't call it that.
Okay. But yeah, that's my guess. I would say some kind of debate team thing or something, which is also by the way, let's be clear, that's a yikes, and so let's keep those things in mind. Good question, Chewy. Thank you. Jake down with the gifted sub. Let's fucking go. Another gifty boy, dude. 27 gifted subscriptions at twitch.tv/Razinon. Thank you, Jake, for the continued support. Young King, honored, humbled, and privileged. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you, Jake. And Deacon Cheese with the gifty boy. Paying it forward, dude. Hell yes. To Mill Dog. He gets the gifted sub and just pays it forward, dude. Deacon, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. Thank you, Jake and Deacon. Much obliged, boys. No more drumming. I love drumming. I would spend a lot more time drumming if video games didn't exist, for sure. But that's not competitive, really. I mean, there are drum competitions, but that is never what attracted me to music. I think trying to like shoehorn music into like a competition is pretty dumb. It's like, I don't know. Music is fundamentally subjective, and when I played drums, it was never to be like the best drummer. Not that I would be capable of that even if I tried, but if you do look at that upper echelon of talented drummers, they can't compete. It's music. It's subjective by definition. So I didn't even consider drumming in the competitive category. But that is an interesting observation, Deacon. And Chewy, thank you again for the question. Deacon and Jake Down, thank you again for the gifty boys. Let's move on to our next question from Easy Peasy. Absolutely change it. I know you guys don't like CDL, but any chance you'll be watching Cod Champs? So obviously Cod Champs is now over since this question was asked, so we can amend it slightly. Did you watch Cod Champs, Tanner?
I did watch a little bit of it. I watched probably 20 to 30 minutes of it.
Did you see the end?
And it was boring because it was a blowout. That's what I watched. Is I turned it on because I'm like, okay, they're about to win. Maybe I should just watch them win or something, or maybe I'll see a good comeback. I didn't watch the entire thing. That series probably couldn't have been a more boring series to watch. I'm sure some of the other ones leading up to it, in like the semifinals and quarterfinals, were super exciting, but that one was an absolute doozy. So,
yeah.
All I know is Dallas Empire won, and other than that, I really don't care.
Yeah. Yep. Same here, basically. I mean, honestly, if it had been an in-person event, it would have been more fun to watch. No doubt.
True. Yeah, those are a lot more exciting to watch.
They're a lot more exciting to watch because you just for all the reasons that you would expect. But also, like Tanner said, it was just a blowout. So, like, I did watch it, and I was hoping for FaZe to win only because Simp, a member of FaZe Clan, was shooting bodies the day before. And if you shoot bodies, we're brothers in arms, and I'm rooting for you. So I genuinely wanted FaZe to win for only that reason, but obviously they didn't. So I was disappointed. They got fucking shit on, and it was not exciting, not a nail biter at all. And they play on console, so it fundamentally don't care, and it's not interesting to watch whatsoever. There's no such thing as a good play. There's smart plays on console, to be sure, but there's no like, holy shit, he snapped to that guy and was so accurate, in my view. Now, the console peasants listening are fucking seething right now. Hey, buy a PC. It's better. Some of you have never watched like someone play on keyboard and mouse, so you think that this is an outrageous thing to say and that we're just biased or whatever. Do me a favor, twitch.tv/Nate Gibson, go watch a past broadcast. Hey, watch a past broadcast, any one, and you're going to quickly realize, oh, this is what they mean. This shit isn't possible on controller. Literally, it's not possible.
You can't move that fast.
It's literally impossible to move a controller that fast. Yeah, you can't. You're gonna be shocked at how different the world of PC keyboard and specifically keyboard and mouse gameplay is. So yeah,
it's just way more exciting to watch, and the field of view alone makes it look like it's happening a lot faster, which makes it way more exciting to watch.
Yeah, that's
so. At some point, they'll be playing on PC with a controller. I would imagine in the next few years.
Yeah.
So
true. Agreed. So yeah, easy peasy. Absolutely change it. Good question. This next question is from Sierra 117. What is that a reference to, Tanner? Quickly.
Don't know. Don't care.
No.
If it's some single player thing, I don't care.
It's chat.
What is it?
Chat. What is Sierra 117? Don't spoil it, Tanner. Don't spoil it.
It's dumb. It's dumber than I thought.
And they're just probably, yeah, whatever. Anyway, Sierra 117 is the call sign of John, Master Chief, Sierra 117, also known as Spartan 117, of the Halo franchise. My first love in first-person shooter games. So Sierra 117, don't change it. By the way, his profile picture is from ODST, which is a Halo spinoff, so a little incongruent, but it's fine. Asks, Tanner sucks because... This isn't a question so far. Tanner sucks because he didn't... I don't think any question starts with Tanner sucks, but I'll keep it in mind. Tanner sucks because he didn't say in episode 57 that BO2 is the best game. Also, Razinon, if you like BO2, can you and Tanner play Plutonium BO2? BO2 is the best COD game, hands down. I don't hate Tanner. Tanner is cool. Okay, so first of all, change your brain, because I don't know what was going through your head when this quote-unquote question was asked, but it's barely a question. There's not a period to be found. It's the most run-on sentence I've ever seen in my life, and it's just rambling yikes. Just yikes. But nonetheless, have you ever heard of Plutonium BO2, Tanner? And
I didn't know
would you play it?
I didn't know they had BO2. They have it, I think, for Modern Warfare 2 or 3, but it's a mod. I mean, I would assume it's only on PC because it's a mod basically created by this group of developers. And it's pretty much exactly, I guess it is exactly like playing on BO2, but they've changed a lot of things. There's dedicated servers on it, shit like that. I actually first heard about it from TGD like months ago. I saw him talk about like he had clips playing the Modern Warfare, like I said, 2 or 3. I don't know which one. It looks super exciting, but I'm sure the player base is so small. Like if we got on right now to play that BO2 version, like I'm sure there's less than 50 people playing it. I don't have a clue, but that's what I'm gonna guess. So no, we're not gonna play it.
Yeah. So John, I've only seen Plutonium BO2 once, and it was this YouTube guy named WASD Mitch. He's very popular. Some of you might have heard of him. He's like a quickscope lord. And he's like a throwback YouTuber. He was active back in the day, and he's still active. But he's a quickscope Andy. Good player. Nice dude. Seems like he's a nice dude. I've seen him make a bunch of YouTube videos on Plutonium BO2. It's basically just BO2, but you can like mod servers or some shit. I don't really know. But no, absolutely fucking not. We wouldn't play it. Don't care. Hey, let's play a new game that's good. That's what my vote is for.
Well, I would play it if there were a player base, but that's what I'm saying is I'm sure there's not.
Yeah, we could look into it if we really cared to.
We don't have time.
That's the main issue, of course.
Patreon.com/thedropshot.
Amen, dude. Chilling it up.
No time.
No time. True. Actually true. So next question is from Deacon Cheese. Welcome, by the way, Deacon. After hearing you two answer the Mexican mogul's question about skill-based matchmaking and his friends in episode 57 Hit Slap, thank you for the clarification, I feel like there's one thing that's not talked about enough with regard to the game's financial success. I have to imagine that Warzone coming out when it did was Activision's wet dream. All of a sudden, millions of people are out of work and looking for something to do. Hey, try this new free-to-play game that's also the first COD game to have crossplay so you and your friends can all play together all day. Good point. So the question is, do you guys think this game makes nearly as much money if it weren't for COVID-19 and its impact on employment? Excellent question, in my opinion.
Shit, yeah. Wow.
Tanner, your thoughts?
Interesting. This has kind of crossed my mind, like, why this game was popular. I didn't think so much about Activision making the amount of money they make. Yeah, you're definitely right, though, dude. They would not have made nearly as much if it weren't for COVID and all this shutdown. It's kind of hard to think back now on it because now in California, things are fairly normal. I mean, most people are back to work or just working from home. But I guess even from working from home, people are gaming and doing shit like that more. But yeah, there were months where, I mean, I personally know a ton of people that were out of work. Actually, some of them still are to this day. A select few of them. Gabriel Salprez, Cavina Calver, Lyman Avenue, Cavina, California, age 28, Hispanic male. So yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. I mean, regardless, the game became very popular because it's a pretty good BR. A lot of people think it's a great BR, and it's crossplay. That's the biggest thing, I think. Crossplay, Battle Royale, that hits what's popular right now. And they did a fantastic job. Well, they did a shit job marketing it, but all the big streamers are playing it. And whenever the big streamers are playing, that's what everyone else is going to come and play. But in regards to actually strictly making money, I think you are right. I don't know how much less it would have really been. I mean, I'm not going to say like 50%. Nice mug, by the way.
Woo. Yep.
I would say COVID probably added an extra 25%.
Exclamation point shop to get your own. Oh.
25% of sales, which is still a lot.
25%.
So
okay.
That's what I'm going to guess.
Okay. Yeah. So Deacon, I think you're absolutely right about what you're implying with your question. I think it makes almost as much money with that said, because it's still the first cross-platform. Still the first free-to-play BR. And they made a good decision with their loot boxes to not have, what's it fucking called? Weapons behind paywalls that caused more people to buy microtransactions, I would imagine.
True.
So they made a lot of smart marketing plays and just business decisions with this game. This still would easily be their best earning title of all time, even if it weren't for COVID-19. I'm very confident in saying that. But yeah, they wouldn't have made as much money, of course, because a bunch of people are playing games a lot and a lot more often now than they were before. And there are actually statistics on this too. I mean, I follow a bunch of like Call of Duty YouTubers, for example. I've been following a bunch of them since like Black Ops 4 before COVID-19. And I've seen tweets all the time where they specifically say, damn, COVID sucks, but pretty fucking good for my channel. I've experienced more growth in this short time frame than I ever have before. And I think, of course, that that's true, and it's probably reflected in like video game sales for sure. Yeah. 25% though? No, probably not that much. I would say maybe 10%, 15 maybe. But still, that's a lot more money either way. Because 10% of $3 million per day is an extra $300,000 per day, even on the low end estimate. And by the way, that adds up quick. So, yeah, it's making them a fuck ton of money. And the COVID was fortuitous, at least for Activision, I would say. So, yeah.
Okay.
Good question. Next one is from Rhodes. Again, let's see if he can outdo himself here. Rhodes asks, Gulag is annoying. We can all agree on that. Okay. Flashes and stuns ruin it, period. Absolutely correct.
Yep.
What do you guys think about it being similar, more like a 1v1 one in the chamber with your X16? If you miss, you're throwing hands. Okay. I feel like it would make it more exciting. Maybe it's a dumb idea, and I don't know if anyone else has mentioned it, but anything has to be better than what it is now. Or just remove throwables. Lol. Okay. Tanner, your thoughts?
I agree with you. Almost anything is better than what they're doing now.
Okay.
But that's because they have all the pistols and shit in it. So here's my thought. If it's like one in the chamber and I get hit once with an X16, like somebody who has a controller is going to hit me first most of the time. In the Gulag, when it's that small, all you have to do is look straight. I'm going to miss my shot because the X16 iron sights are fucking horrendous. So they're going to aim center mass, hit me right fucking here, and I'm dead. So I would hate it. This is why I hate pistols in general in the Gulag. This is why I hate any other gun in the Gulag besides ARs or SMGs. And I've noticed a trend. When it comes to randomized weapons, shotguns, pistols, throwing knives, flash grenades, stun grenades, Molotovs, I get shit on. Like the current state. What is the Gulag right now? Is it pistols right now? Or is it shotguns?
It's like random. There's pistols, there's shotguns, there's akimbo deagles.
Here's what it is.
Yikes.
Terrible. Yeah. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So, when I get an AR, I'm not kidding, I don't lose the Gulag. AR, SMG, normal guns, I don't lose. So I would rather have that, because I think that actually comes down to more skill versus just randomness of things like a shotgun or a pistol, because they're so hit or miss. Like, you get a random lucky one tap with a deagle, you know? So,
yeah,
I would just prefer shotgun. They're not shotguns, I mean. SMGs, assault rifles, and I would even be okay with snipers. I think that's fun. Take everything else out. There shouldn't be any grenades, none of that.
Okay. Okay.
That I would never lose.
We'll keep that in mind for sure. So, Rhodes, you did outdo yourself? Because this is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. The one in the chamber idea. Hey, here's what we shouldn't do. Throw hands in the Gulag. Okay, let me backtrack that. I like the aesthetic behind it. Like, you're in a Gulag and they're not going to waste like ammo on you, so you're just going to like fist fight to the death. in like some gulag. Like, that's very communist. It's very communist black site. The whole idea of it is very communist black site. So I get why you like it, because it does make sense. However, this is a very important point that I try to stress often on this podcast. I don't care about realism if it's at the expense of gameplay and just enjoyment of the game and competitive spirit. Here's what's not competitive: punching people in the gulag. Stop it.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. It's not exciting, and there's no skill. And don't give people only one bullet. By the way, if you only had one bullet with an X16, you can't kill someone with one bullet from an X16 anyway. So you would have to throw hands.
In real life or in game?
In game, of course.
In game, of course. Okay.
Yeah, they make it hardcore mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, here's how we fix gulag. You nailed it on the head in your last sentence. Or just remove throwables. LOL. Yep. Let's remove throwables. Remove shotguns. Remove knife only. And then the gulag's pretty much fine. I'm okay with pistols. I'm a god king with pistols. I never lose those. Ever. Unless they're akimbo.
You lose like
you can't aim.
75% of your gulag, so let's not say that.
Absolutely fake news. I can't stress this enough. That is fake news.
It?
Check the VODs, tally it up. We need some Dropshot statisticians to get on that stat. But yeah, I don't have a problem with pistols. Listen, if you're in the gulag, hey, don't go to the gulag. But dying because you got stunned is dumb. So yeah, just remove throwables, and I think the gulag's pretty much
Or
fine.
better yet, here's another thought. Remove the gulag.
That is another
just
thought.
Kill me. Okay, let me die in peace. Let me be dead in game. I don't even want to go to the gulag. Dude. I'm not kidding. I don't want the gulag to be there. Kill me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would say just remove throwables. But Rozo's a good question. It amused me. So thank you for that. And I'm just fucking with you. So relax. And I appreciate it, dude. Deacon Cheese with the 1,000 biddies. Let's fucking go, Deacon. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Gifty boys, bits. God damn, dude. Hope you're having a good Friday night. I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate the support, brother. Thank you. Honored, humbled. And, of course, privileged. All roads lead to bad questions. That is very funny series. I liked that. Okay, go ahead, Tanner.
I'm gonna go get my drink. This next question again makes me so mad. You can answer it.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's worse than the last question.
Okay, so this is a terrible question apparently, and it is from Steel Switch. Steel Switch asks to piggyback on above comment by Rhodes. Why not change the gulag to consist of one small cell and just a fist fight? Holy shit. It gets worse. No small map to run around in, just instant 1v1 fist fight in a prison cell. Would taking away weapons in the current playable area ruin the experience? Yes. Yes, it would. That's it. That's the answer to your question. Why would you want this? There's no skill in throwing hands. Again, I get the aesthetic, but it's not fun and there's no skill. So this is the worst idea that we've heard yet, Steel Switch. So keep that in mind. And it does make me furious. But I appreciate the question. But yeah, this is so dumb, dude. Why would you want this? It's like literally luck. Like actually luck. Whoever just swings first, like, wins. It's so dumb. Yeah, no. Of course this is bad. So keep that in mind. Let's move on here to the next one. The Mexican Mogul asks, I'm sure both of you think auto aim should be removed for controller players totally or not. I could be wrong. Okay. But do you both agree it should be removed from melee attacks? The amount of times I've dropped in and put 5 to 6 bullets on someone as they run at me locked on, clubbing me with a pistol with absolutely no escape is ridiculous. Interesting question, Mexican Mogul. So, first of all, I don't think auto aim should be removed for controller players. By the way, it's very amusing that you call it auto aim because that's like a pejorative, derogatory way to describe aim assist. But it's pretty accurate. It actually is auto aim. So no, but of course they shouldn't have that removed. If there were no aim assist on, I mean, if you think about it, one person's aiming with their thumb, which is like one joint, 2 joints. We'll call it 2 joints, 2 knuckles. Knuckle, here we go. Knuckle 1, knuckle 2. So you can aim with 2 joints. If I'm using a mouse, I can aim with 1 joint. Fingers can move up and down. So we'll call it 2 joints because you do that sometimes. Elbows 3, shoulders 4. And you have so much more room to make like micro adjustments. It's way easier to aim on a mouse than on a controller. If there was no aim assist. But because there's aim assist, it evens the playing field and it perhaps even tips the balance in favor of controller players. So I don't think aim assist should be removed from controllers. And by and large, I think the aim assist is probably about fine in Call of Duty. I complain about it all the time and it's very annoying, but they do absolutely need it if there's going to be PC players. Because if there was no aim assist, there's no reason to ever use a fucking controller. The only benefit of using a controller is aim assist. And it roughly evens the playing field. I've said this before, but if you're very close to someone, I think mouse is better because you don't really need aim assist. And if you're very far from someone, I think controller is better because you get aim assist and machines can always see you and don't make mistakes ever. So it's way easier for it to track you. So I wouldn't say that controller players should have aim assist removed. Absolutely not. And as for melee attacks, I think controller and PC get the same auto lock lunge. I think what you're referring to is lunging. So if I press melee and an enemy is in front of me within a certain distance, I will automatically lunge toward them. And like stay like locked on, like you said. I don't think that's unique to controller players. I think that is just how the game works, independent of your input method. So the same thing is the case if you're on a mouse and keyboard, as well as controller. So, yeah, it's very annoying that meleeing exists for sure. But yeah, I don't know if I would remove the lunge auto attack thing, honestly. I haven't thought much about it because in this game, it's not that big of a problem at all because the time to kill is so fast. So I haven't really thought about it. Tanner, your thoughts?
Interesting. The lunging or the that like locking on for the melee attack, I think that should be removed actually. I think it would actually make it skillful because, for example, when you drop in Warzone right now, if you're close to a guy and you're like, he's here, I'm here, we're looking directly at each other a few feet apart. The person that has the advantage, honestly, is the one that decides to not shoot. It's the person that presses W key or presses up on their left analog stick and just bashes the melee button. Because it locks on and it follows them around. So if they go, if they try to crouch or something,
if you get hit, your pistol just suddenly shoots to the sky.
Oh yeah, which is another problem in the game. Sure. So I do think that needs to be removed. Because that's what I've learned on Warzone, dude. Like if somebody's that close to me, I don't even shoot, or I'll fire like 1 or 2 bullets when they're trying to run away from me or something, and then they'll turn around. I don't even try to shoot again. I just run up and bash them because it kills quicker than using a pistol up close, and I don't miss because it locks on. Yeah. So I don't like that. It feels weird. And in terms of what you're saying about auto aim, again, like Raz said, I also enjoy that you call it auto aim.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what we always call it, just like fucking around. Yeah. I actually genuinely, like when I don't even think about it now, the word that comes to mind is auto aim and not even aim assist because I've said auto aim so many times now.
Yeah. I think that's where this guy got it from.
Yeah, but so no, I don't think it should be removed. Yeah, if it was removed, the highest controller player's KD would be 1.3. It would be, I mean, we've seen that one clip of Swag. Everybody's seen it where where his aim assist wasn't working. He couldn't hit the guy that was like 10 feet in front of him. He was going left, right, up, down, fucking all over the place, dude. He could not hit him. So it does need to be there. We think it's annoying, but bottom line is I would get shit on by auto aim every single day if it means the game is cross-platform and I have way more people to play against.
1,000% agree with you.
Yeah, we just complain about it, but if you're on controller, you need it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and what Tanner said about Swag just now, we're not shitting on Swag. Swag's a very good controller player. The point that Tanner is illustrating is that even if you're very good, you have to have it. Because it's like very fucking hard to aim with your thumb in a first-person shooter, especially one that's all fast-paced like this. So we're not shitting on him. We're not shitting on anyone. We're just saying they need aim assist. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't have aim assist at all, you're going to get fucking dunked on hard by fucking mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
So they absolutely need it. But that was a very good question. So thank you. Next one here. Are we running with anyone tonight, by the way, Tanner?
I don't know what we're doing yet.
Okay. We'll figure it out. Next question is from Moist Marvel. Change it. As a console peasant, looking at switching to a PC, yes, I listened to episode 21 and you sexy fuckers got me. Fantastic. Could you explain what specs to prioritize when looking at building / upgrading a PC? Specifically for me, I'm seeing more CUDAs and stream processors for GPUs. How do they correlate? I'm seeing different speeds of memory on MOBO, CPUs, and RAM. If my RAM DDR4 speed is higher, will it change what I'm experiencing during gameplay, or do I need to focus on the MOBO CPU? Ideally, I want to, where am I? Build / buy a PC that gives me 120 to 144 frames on 1080p. I'm getting conflicting info when I ask Google any questions. Any insights are greatly appreciated. Okay, Tanner, your thoughts?
You could go into a deep rabbit hole here. It's kind of hard to say specifically what to look at for like the specs, because like you're going to look at these numbers and to you, they're going to sound the same. It just takes a lot of research. And one of the best things you can do actually is look at benchmarks. So like go to Google and type in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year Edition, Joe Seacott edition, like average CPU frame rate. So you're going to find that you'll get a bunch of benchmarks that's going to show you, okay, Ryzen 9 3900X. Then it's going to say paired with this specific graphics card, you're going to hit 160 average frames. It's going to say i9 10900K paired with, which is a CPU made by Intel, paired with this graphics card, you're going to get 195 frames average. That's the best thing you can do. And search that type of thing for the different games you play, and you'll start noticing a trend. You'll notice, okay, the 3900X, the 3700X from AMD, the Intel 9900K, the 10900K, the 9700K. You'll see those at the top of the list. So then you're getting the idea, okay, so those are the good ones. Then you see, okay, so I'm going to research that. I realize that CPU is $500. I'm not going to spend that much on a CPU, right? Because my budget's for the whole PC is $800. So let's look at mid-range ones. Then you start going down, you see, Ryzen 3600, 3400, and then you start seeing the frame rate. It's not going to be as good, but if that's what your budget, or that's your budget, that's what you're going to have to stick to. So with processors, it comes to cores and threads. Usually the higher number means it's better. Not always.
But like, I think you made the perfect point here, which is like, don't fucking look at thread count or core count or CUDA speeds, because not only do you not know what that shit means, but we don't either, and you don't need to know. Just look at benchmarks and look at what performs best that you can afford and buy that. You should not concern yourself with learning what a CUDA core is.
Yeah, that shit doesn't matter, actually. Well, it doesn't matter to you. I mean, let the people do benchmarks for you and just go off that.
Yes, exactly.
So there's three YouTube channels you should subscribe to. Linus Tech Tips is one of them.
He's excellent.
Jay's 2 cents. Jay's is with a Z. Just search Jay's 2 cents, however you want to spell it. You'll find it. And then Gamers Nexus. All of those have a ton of excellent content. And they go through benchmarks when the CPUs come out. So before these graphics cards come out in like 2 weeks, they'll have benchmarks up before they're released, so you can decide which model you want to buy. And then also, you know, they do everything where they go into showing how everything is manufactured. If you want to get more in depth, you can watch those videos where they explain what all those things mean, like the core count, the clock speeds, how to overclock if you want. But best thing to do, base it off a benchmark, start watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's the best way to learn quickly.
Yeah. So Moist, I have a couple things to add to that. Number one, join the fucking Discord. There is a channel called Tech Support in the Discord, and we have some real fucking nerds in the Discord that can explain this way better than we can, and they can recommend things that are they can recommend for you, like what your setup is. So it depends on your budget, depends on what you want. I see here that you want about 150 frames on 1080p. That's not going to be terribly difficult. That's the good news.
No.
So, but it also, I mean, it depends on your circumstance. So you said buy/upgrade. It's like, okay, well, what is your PC right now? What kind of socket type is your motherboard? And the reason I would ask that is because if you can get a new CPU for that socket type, that's going to be important information to have. But the last thing I would say is that the only two things that you should really care about that are going to impact your performance in video games is the CPU, which is also known as the processor. Those are the same thing. And the GPU, which is also known as the graphics card. Those two things are going to account for 90 to 95% of how well a game performs on that system. RAM is kind of important, sort of, but actually it's not really. RAM is also pretty cheap, so hey, get 16 gigs of DDR, whatever the fuck, it doesn't really matter. The new one, 4 is fine, 5 or 6 is fine. I don't know what it's on now because it doesn't really matter.
I think it's still on.
I think it's
still on 4.
I think
we're still on 4.
I think there might be 5 now, but like I said, it just doesn't matter that much. RAM, for example, is something people talk about a lot and like overclock your RAM. Listen, dickhead, you're not running a fucking server. You're not rendering shit in Adobe Premiere. You're trying to game. RAM doesn't matter that much. Get 16 gigs of Corsair, fill in the blank. It actually doesn't matter, and it'll be fine. The CPU and the GPU are the things that you want to be looking at. Now, luckily, NVIDIA just released a bunch of new GPUs that are insanely powerful and insanely cheap for how powerful they are. You can get a 3070 with a decent CPU and fucking destroy all these benchmarks easily. So yeah, it's just going to depend on how much money you have and stuff. But I think we've hit this enough. But yeah, join the Discord, get in the tech support channel if you have questions. Tag @TechExpert, and then you can get the info you want.
One last quick little note that Civ just pointed out in chat that's hadn't really thought of either. Having like a mid-range CPU and a really good graphics card is going to be way better for gaming than having a really good CPU and like a mid-range graphics card.
That's also true. Good point.
Graphics card, no matter what, is going to net you the highest amount of frames.
Yes.
So, but it is possible to get the best graphics card out there and an average CPU, and then that CPU bottlenecks you.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to save some money, you can usually go with a cheaper CPU. Go with a better graphics card, though.
I would say if you're starting from scratch, first thing you should do is buy a 30 series NVIDIA graphics card. So 3070 or 3080, depending on your budget. They're both very fucking good. And then get a CPU.
And CPU.
Yeah, an CPU, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, and good point there, Civ. So thank you for that addition. All right, next question here is from XI Big Smoke. Absolutely change it. Do you think the $70 price point for next-gen Activision games will hurt Black Ops Cold War? Essentially what I'm getting at is, do you think consumers will be discouraged from buying the game at this price and instead opt for the free BR instead of the traditional multiplayer experience. Juxtaposed to this, do you think this higher price could help the dev team? I'm sorry. I actually did not do that for comedic effect. That genuinely made me laugh. Or juxtaposed to this, do you think this higher price could help the dev team invest more resources into improving all parts of the next title? Holy shit, I'm not doing that to be cute. That actually made me laugh. And then you added LOL at the end. Okay, let me try and read the last sentence one more time. Or juxtaposed to this, do you think the higher price could help the dev team invest more resources into improving all parts of the next title? Okay, Tanner.
So let me start off with this. I'm disgusted by the first part of this question, and it's not your fault, Smoke. I've heard this question a million times. So anybody complaining about the price of the game going up $10, you're a fucking idiot, okay? I go out to dinner with my wife and we spend $70 and I don't fucking blink an eye, dude. I pay it and I go home. And 3 hours later I'm hungry, right? So I spent $70 and I'm hungry 3 hours later. I don't care if the game costs $10 more that I spend hundreds of hours of playing throughout the year. I don't care. I don't get why people nitpick this and complain about it, because I keep seeing this and I'm like, dude, it's $10. You're going to play the game for so long, it doesn't matter. It's $10.
Yes.
But do you think consumers will be discouraged buying the game at this price point instead of opting for the free BR? That's possible. If this were a multiplayer only, like Call of Duty is supposed to be, and not have a BR, then that wouldn't matter. But you're right. So many people now just care about the BR. Maybe they won't buy it. Bottom line is they're still going to make even more money next year because the way they've done the season pass and everything, and getting rid of the paywalls and everything. So they're still going to make a ton of money from everything else in the game. It doesn't matter. And do I think the higher price could help the dev team? No, because even then Bobby Kotick would just take the cash and buy a fourth yacht with it. He doesn't give a shit about anybody. Doesn't give a shit about Activision employees. He doesn't give a shit about Infinity Ward, Treyarch, nobody.
He doesn't give a shit about you either. Trust me.
But hey, if you need someone to talk to, hit a cell phone.
Oh yeah, hit him up. Hit him up on his cell. Such a cocksucker.
You such a fucking cocksucker.
You stupid bitch. I'll slap him in real life, in game, of course.
The only people I can see complaining about this seriously and actually having an issue are kids that are in high school, middle school wanting to play, and their parents not having a lot of money, and they're like, $70, I don't want to spend that on a video game for you because they don't love their children,
Jesus Christ, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, it shouldn't be an issue, and anybody who actually complains about this, you're a moron.
Yeah. So, okay. Some of Tanner's rhetoric was spicy, but I agree with pretty much everything you just said. So first of all, will the $70 price point hurt the title? No, of course not. Dude, if you have $60 of discretionary income to spend on a video game, you also have $70. There's just no way that extra $10 is going to dissuade fucking anyone. So no, it's not going to hurt them at all. And they have a reasonable justification. I mean, the price of a video game has been $60 for what, 3-4 years now? Inflation's gone up more than that, more than $10 since then. It's not only justified, but also it's dude, again, if you have $60 to spend, you have 70, number one. So no, they won't be discouraged from buying the game. I think that when you mentioned the BR as opposed to multiplayer, if multiplayer was $60 and the BR was free, then X number of people would not buy the game and only play the BR. If the game is $70 and the BR is free, then also exactly X number of people would not buy the multiplayer and play only the BR. It wouldn't be X plus Y. It would be X plus 0. If you weren't going to buy it at 60, if you're not going to buy it at 70, you were also not going to buy it at 60. So it's not going to have any impact. The BR is going to have no impact, irrespective of the price point of multiplayer. And also, it is laughably absurd to think that they would take these extra $10 and funnel these into resources into, quote, improving all parts of the title. That is a laughably absurd, literally laughably absurd thought to have. And I'm glad that you put LOL at the end of that question, because it is funny. It is funny to think that the problems with this game, for example, were a lack of resources, because I've said it dozens of times on this podcast, and I'll say it again right the fuck now, $3 million per day in microtransactions. To think that the quality assurance fucking catastrophe that this game is a result of a lack of funding is an absurd proposition. The reason this game has no patch notes, is a buggy fucking mess, still has bugs that were in the game since literally beta, shit visibility, no working play of the game, etc., etc., etc. All of these things do not exist because, oh, we just don't have the money to fix them. Absolutely not. So the fact that they're going to get $10 more per sale, and that's going to be the panacea that makes Cold War like perfect and bug free, or even better, is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that you think that, which is why you put LOL at the end of your statement. But I want to dispel with this notion for anyone listening who may think that their extra $10 is actually going to translate into more quality in the game. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances should you think that. It is fake news. Period. Excellent question, by the way, Big Smoke. Real quick. What do we have here? JJack33. Let's fucking go with the Subarino. Hell yes, dude. Honored, humbled, and privileged. I appreciate you, dude. And Yogurt Stain with the 2-month Subarino. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Yogurt Stain. I appreciate you, brother. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. Let us fucking go, he says. I'll keep that in mind. Jay Lack, excuse me, sorry. And Yogurt Stain. 2 new faces that I don't recognize. Welcome, boys. Glad you could make it here on this fine Friday evening. And I, of course, appreciate the support. Dr. J Webb has converted his Prime Gaming sub to a tier 1 sub. Honestly, don't really know what that means. But, hey, Doc, I appreciate it, dude. Let's fucking go. Thank you, brother. Boys, honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. I appreciate all of the support. Big Smoke, very good question. Again, thank you, sir. Let's move on. How many more you want to hit, Tanner?
At least a few.
Okay. Just let me know. Next one here is from Chewy again. Would Tanner be down to stream Flight Sim? And can you take off from or land on Laverne Airport? I don't know if he means the same Laverne that I'm thinking he means, because Laverne is... Well, I don't know what Laverne 1-word airport is. I know what Laverne 2-words airport is. So let's keep that in mind.
Well, he doxed us and knows where we live.
I'll keep that in mind. Secondly, will our COD points carry over to Cold War? Okay, Tanner, your thoughts?
Yes, I think they will. COD points will carry over to Cold War. Would I be down to stream Flight Sim? Well, here's the thing, Chewy. I just did. I just fucking did a few nights ago. I did a little test stream on Wednesday, 2 nights ago, to see if I could run it. Because I was worried. I'm like, there's parts of the world you get 20 frames per second, no matter how good your computer is. So I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth streaming. So Wednesday night, I didn't work the next day, so Raz got off. We had a horrible night in Verdansk. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to test this out. Because I've been wanting to stream it, and I'm like, I don't want to like waste a stream and go live and everything to then find out I'm getting 4 frames per second in game. So I'm like, okay, it's towards the end of the stream. There's not a whole lot of people left. Let's try it out. So I streamed it, and it worked perfectly fine. I didn't notice any sort of performance hit whatsoever. It was fine. So, and yes, of course, you can take off and land from Laverne Airport. Almost every single airport in the world's in the game. It's like 37,000 of them or something. There are a few missing, I'm sure. Maybe the drug smuggling ones or whatnot. Or maybe they have them. I'm not sure. Not going to judge. But, yeah, I want to. I just kind of need to figure out how that's going to go exactly. Because pretty much once you get up in the air, you're just doing nothing for a while. You're just flying straight, looking at clouds, doing nothing. So, Jesus Christ, don't ever do that again.
Get farted on.
So I'd have to figure some things out. But yeah, we're gonna do it for sure.
Okay.
I just need to think through how it's gonna work.
Get the 30 series. Yeah. So, yeah, COD points will carry over. Basically, COD points are going to be endemic to the platform that the PC platform that the game is hosted on. So like World War II COD points is on Steam. So those don't carry over to MW 2019 or Black Ops 4 because those two games are on Battle.net. But if you buy COD points or get COD points in BO4, then you can use them in MW 2019 because those are both Battle.net games. And Black Ops Cold War is also going to be a Battle.net game. So whatever COD points you have right now in MW 2019, I am 98% sure that they're going to carry over to Cold War. Yes. But because they're both on Battle.net.
Yeah.
Basically, okay, so like if you buy COD points for World War II, that purchase of COD points is through the Steam store. It's through Valve. So Valve is the bank that your COD points are stored in. Except this bank doesn't communicate with other banks, so this is a shit analogy. But if you buy COD points in BO4 or in MW or in Cold War, that purchase takes place on Battle.net. So yes, they transfer between those games. So yeah, if you have COD points for this game, save them for Cold War for sure. Yeah.
What if we all get scammed actually?
And we just
what if that's Bobby Kodak's bonus is all the
all the unspent COD points?
All the unspent COD points.
You just log in on launch day and there's no more COD points in your MW account. Yikes, dude. True.
I would text his phone number immediately.
Yeah,
maybe even call him actually. I would
send a
think
dick
I'd give
pic
him a little phone call.
To his
Jesus.
celly. In game, of course, naturally, yeah. Deacon Cheese with the gifted sub. Let's fucking go. You guys are sub hungry today.
And yeah, plus like
it is September.
It's a seamless transition, so it's like naturally that would transition seamlessly as well.
Naturally, of course. Yeah, seamlessly, by the way. That actually will seamlessly transition, I think. Yeah, unironically. So yeah. Deacon, thank you for the gifted sub. And stick to your pistolas. 4 months. A submarino. Let's go, dude. Honored, humbled, and privileged, boys. Thank you for the support. You guys are getting nuts tonight. And I'm not mad about it. So thank you, boys. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. I appreciate it, boys.
Next two. And after the second one.
You fucking got it.
Smokes.
Yep.
Big smokes.
Hey, I can count to 2.
XI_Big Smoke.
Change it. All right, next question. Hit show block. Absolute change it.
I don't think so, dude. I like it.
I hate it. It makes me furious.
So when used in that sentence or that whatever that's called, it's not a sentence.
Block
what
like
is that
Soviet
referring
block.
to?
Yeah. Because it's BLOC. So it's like hit show Soviet block. Oh, we got a merch store purchase. Aussie Menace just got scammed into buying the Dropshot official hoodie. Fantastic.
Does it even get cold in Australia?
That's a great question.
Isn't that place just always on fire and hot?
Wow, dude, he went there. He went there. Yeah, well,
it went there.
Indeed. Aussie, thank you, dude, for the sweatshirt purchase. I appreciate it, dude. We are scamming you live. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy the sweatshirt. I got a sweatshirt. The Stream Element store is very good, by the way. I've gotten gear from there, and you can go to twitter.com/Razinon to see the vlogs of me in that gear. I wore all of it on that trip, and it's high quality gear. I recommend it. Not only because I'm profiting. That's part of it. But it's good shit, for real. In all seriousness. Anyway, thank you, Aussie. So yeah, hit your block. How come Obsidian Patron is sold out? I tried to sign up. You want me to hit this, Tanner?
Yeah, hit it.
Okay. Yeah. So
hit him with the truth.
The truth is there was no Obsidian Patron. Hit your block. There was gold, platinum, and Damascus, which corresponds to weapon camos. In case you guys are too dumb to figure that out, I suspect you're not, because you're connoisseurs of excellent content, such as the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, of course. And then the Dropshot Patriarch, the Vaping Viking, requested that we add an Obsidian tier and then restrict it to only one, and also make it $50 a month, and also provide no extra benefits except for the bragging right of being an Obsidian patron. So I said, hey, dude, if you want to give us $50 a month for no extra thing except bragging rights, you got it, brother. So that's why
he was bugging for that one, dude.
He's on a stack. He's bugging, no cap. But
he
he's
didn't
also
want to be thrown in with all the peasants. Apparently,
he just had to set himself apart, which he has earned. Absolutely,
he more than certainly has.
Has earned it.
Let's not even call it earned. Let's call it whatever else. But he's done it. He's done it.
He has done it. Yeah. No, he's earned it. He's had some. He's been personally supportive. Good insight and advice.
You know what? While we're on the subject of him,
okay.
October 2nd, he's doing his inaugural live stream. Twitch.tv/the Vaping Viking.
Yeah,
it's gonna be his first stream.
I'm gonna give him a shout out in the Twitch chat. Make sure you guys go follow him.
We're obviously
he's not going to be getting money from his stream. He's going to like give it to viewers, I think, or some shit. He's fucking nuts. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think he's figured it out exactly, or we haven't discussed that with him exactly, but it's definitely something like that.
He's figured out life is pay to win. Life is pay to win.
Yeah, actually.
But no, he's a good dude. Independent of his very generous contributions to the Dropshot LLC, of course. But yeah, that's the answer. Hit your block. So I will end with this. You can send us as much money as you fucking want on Patreon. So you can edit your pledge to $50 a month if you want. But unfortunately, you won't be technically Obsidian patron, but you don't get anything extra for it anyways. And also, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're fucking independently wealthy. I wouldn't recommend anyone give us as much money as the Vaping Viking has. Unless, of course, again, you're an oiler. You're a Saudi oil baron. Or you're a Rothschild. Or some other kind of plutocrat. In which case, give us all of your money. But besides that, no one has this kind of disposable income. Don't send us $50 a month on Patreon. It's too much. But I appreciate the gesture. Hit show block. So thank you for the question. And then last one here is from, once again, XI_Big Smoke. Change it. Absolutely change it.
That's not a change it, dude.
You like this name? XI
I love Big
Smoke?
Yeah, dude.
Big Smoke would be fine. But throwing Z in front of it with an underscore, change it.
Dude, isn't Big Smoke that guy from Grand Theft Auto?
Don't care. Don't put XI underscore in front of it.
It's that dude from Grand Theft Auto. It's not a change it.
Here's an idea. Change it to Big Smoke only. But still, change it. Let's move on. We're not going to agree on this.
Okay.
Do you guys think there needs to be an animation added when exiting cars in Warzone? There is one, so not sure what you're asking. It seems totally ridiculous that someone can speed towards you, jump out in an instant with absolutely no delay and proceed to rain hellfire upon you. Seems silly that they can get out whenever they want and there's no penalty. There should at least be a second-long animation or a dive onto the ground, meaning they're at least in a vulnerable state for some length of time? This is an interesting question. I like it. The way it currently is, the vehicle driver is always at an advantage as they are in full control of when they exit with no penalty whatsoever. Thoughts? This is a great question, actually, and I had never thought about this, but it's an interesting point, and I'm curious for your thoughts, Tanner.
Yeah, this was a big hot topic in H1Z1.
Really?
I am completely fine with the way it is. I think if you added a penalty for exiting the vehicles like that, if anything, it would just slow the game down. It would cause people to, you know, they would just, instead of like just blowing through areas with their car, as soon as they see somebody, they're going to fucking stop, pop out. It's just, I don't know. I just think it's going to slow things down a lot. Or it's just, if there's two cars like driving by each other, neither of them are going to jump out. They're just going to keep on driving. And then they're just going to ignore the fight they were supposed to get in because they don't want to deal with that delay. Because that was the big thing in H1Z1. People would get in cars, you would just drive around, you would pop out of the car and destroy the person driving the other one, get back in and keep moving. And it made for very quick gameplay. And even people back then bitched about it, how like you didn't take any penalty, and then they started doing a penalty, and then the game died. So keep that in mind. I think it's fine. If you want to risk that driving full speed and jumping out, because you say like there's no penalty. There's not technically a penalty, but like the way it works, you don't really know exactly where you're going to be facing.
The penalty is everyone knows where you are on the minimap, and everyone hears you.
Exactly. So if you're driving full speed and you bail out, then yeah, your vehicle, first of all, is going to turn from red to white, so they know you're not in it anymore on the minimap. And it's like, you're not going to be sighted up perfectly, you know? You're not going to be aimed exactly where you're thinking you're going to be. So you're already at a disadvantage anyways. I think it's perfectly fine. I like it. And yeah, that shouldn't change.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, Big Smoke, change it. This is another one of those things where I would say, let's be careful to not let realism get in the way of good gameplay. Now, if I'm in fourth gear in a fucking sedan or an SUV or a whatever the fuck, and I'm going 65 miles an hour and I get out of the car at full speed, am I going to be a paraplegic for the rest of my life in real life? Of course I am, obviously. But again, let's not let realism get in the way of a good gameplay experience. I think incurring some kind of penalty on players for getting out of a car at a speed is dumb and not necessary. And you're saying that there's no penalty whatsoever, but I would really push back on that. Again, everyone knows where you are on the minimap. Like, very obviously, you're super fucking loud. If you don't have a trophy, you're extremely vulnerable because one explosive and you and everyone you know in that car is dead. So it's not like there's no penalty to being in a car. Now, technically, there's no penalty to exiting the car, but that is too myopic of a perspective to take on the car issue because there might not be a penalty to just getting out. But there's a penalty to driving it in the first place. And I think that is a sufficient penalty that we wouldn't have to add anything on top of that. Like a timer when you get out or some shit like that. But it is a good thought, actually, because it can be annoying. But Tanner also brought up some good points, too. When you get out, it's not like you can pre-aim while you're in the car and then get out and just be sighted up, you know? So yeah, I think the way cars work in Warzone is fun, I would say. Actually, quite fun. I think the health totals of cars is really good. I think once they nerfed the speed of the semi-truck, that became a balanced car to use. Yeah, I think they're actually very well handled, surprisingly. I had never thought about it because there wasn't an issue. But now that I do, I would say I commend Infinity Ward for handling vehicles, I would say very well. Except helicopters. Let's make those weaker. They're a yikes. But yeah, great question. Great question. Okay, we had a couple other things happen here. First of all, Dreves, welcome, dude, with the 5 gifted subs. Fucking go. Yes, dude. Dreves, welcome back, brother. Thank you for honoring September with the 5 gifty boys. I am, of course, honored, humbled, and privileged. And a relative new frog, although I've seen him before, albeit very recently, the Dave Daly with the 5 gifty boys. Let's fucking go, dude. 25 subs today. You guys are nuts. Nuts, dude. Taking advantage of that September. Dreves, the Dave Daly. I am honored, humbled, and privileged for the support. Thank you, boys. It means a lot. I very much appreciate it. And I'm glad you could be here. Albeit a little late toward the end, but we got a lot of gameplay for you, so fret not. There's a lot in store yet. Deacon Cheese with the 5 gifted subs. Let's fucking go. Jesus, dude. You guys are going ham today, huh? Oops. Oops. Total of 7 gifted subs in this chat. A lot of support from Deacon Cheese tonight, dude. I appreciate it, Deacon. Thank you, man. Thank you for the 5 gifty boys. I am indeed, of course, honored, humbled, and privileged. Thank you, brother. It means a lot. Deacon, for all the support tonight. Dave Daly, Dreves, of course, and topping it off with 1 more gifted sub. Let's go. Thank you, Deacon. Much obliged. Much love. I appreciate you, brother. Means a lot. Damn, you guys went ham today. Are we liking the Friday pods? Is that what's going on? I'll keep it in mind, for sure. I'll for sure keep it in mind. 2 more gifted subs. Jesus, Deacon. It just keeps coming. Amen, dude. It just keeps coming. That's what she said.
Jeez.
That's what she said. So, yeah. Fuck yeah, Deacon. Thank you, dude.
Fucking demons tonight, dude.
Yeah, he's wanting to get a nice even 10, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. Another one. Let's go, dude. Don't make it live often, so wanted to make it an even 10. You love to see that. And Dreves with the gifted sub for a total of 17. Jesus, man. Dreves, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, Deacon, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. You didn't have to do that, of course, but I'm glad you did nonetheless. It is September after all. 'Tis the season to gift subs. Fa la 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 la. So keep that in mind. That was a yikes from me, by the way. I regretted it immediately. But yeah, thank you, Deacon. And Dreves, thank you as well for the gifty boy and for all the other support this evening. So without further ado, very much appreciated, boys. Let's jam in some games. Tanner, what do you fucking say, kid?
Let's jam in some
You
games.
dumb kid. All right.
Check mid-show when you get a second.
All right, hold on. I'll do that right now. All right, I'm back. Okay, so without further ado, we got a lot more questions, and I thank you boys for submitting those. Tanner, go live now. We're gonna get some games in over on TDS's channel, but first, stick around. Normally, I would read iTunes reviews here, but there are none. So I'll remind you all that if you rate the podcast 5 stars on iTunes, you can write a review, literally anything, and I'll read it. But there are none, so I'm not doing that now. But normally I would do it now. Love the pod. I usually listen later at my shit job. Helps pass the time. I appreciate that, Dreves. I'm glad we've helped you at your shit job. I have one myself, so I listen to podcasts all the time. That's why I do this one. So yeah, I appreciate that, dude. Thank you, Dreves. Appreciate it, and Deacon as well. And the Dave Daly with 5 more gifted subs. Jesus. And even 10, you guys crush it. Jesus, Dave. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you, man. I am honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. I'm glad you've been enjoying it as well, Dave. Thank you, dude. The support means a lot from you, from everyone tonight. Very kind of you, brother. An even 10. We'll take those. Thank you, Dave. Much appreciated, brother. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have been enjoying the pod. A new frog, only half catching this, dropping in. Gotcha, Dave. Gotcha. Yeah, there was a lot of good shit in the first half, so make sure you listen. We went over the leaks too, so yeah, that was good for sure. But yeah, thank you, Dave. We are very accepting of new frogs. And by the way, Dave, if you are in fact a new frog, and for anyone else listening, join the fucking Discord. It is in Twitch chat and in the panels and in the show notes if you're listening on your favorite podcast app. Once again, remember to follow me on Twitter at Razinon, on Twitch at twitch.tv/Razinon, and on Instagram at RazinontTTV. Follow Tanner at Tanner Dropshot on Twitter and on twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot, one word. If you have Amazon Prime, link it to your Twitch account and you get one free sub every month. It is included in the price of your Amazon Prime subscription. You will give us money at no cost to you once a month. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes, as I said, and we will read your dumb review and tell your fucking idiot friends about us as well. It would mean a lot. Find us on YouTube for full video episodes of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, as well as gameplay breakdowns, which are not on your podcast app, and clips of the podcast for you to share, again, with aforementioned dumb fuck friends. You share a 5-minute clip with them, they like it, and then they subscribe to the podcast, and then we've not only scammed you into listening to this shit podcast about a video game, but we've also scammed your friend. Kind of like when you get involved in multi-level marketing and you go from being friendly with your friends to like all of them avoiding you because you're trying to sell them fucking water purifiers for $3,000 that they don't need. That's what we're trying to do with the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. So go to the YouTube, find the clips page, and sell those water purifiers. That's what I'm asking of you. It would mean a lot. Once again, we have a merch store. 2 merch stores, in fact. A lot of fire merch. Rep your favorite podcast, the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, with a mug, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a tank top, a bandana, a shirt for your dog, for your baby, a onesie, a duffel bag. I don't give a fuck. There's a bunch of shit. A phone case, a mouse pad. Doesn't matter. Don't care. It's there. Go to the links. There are 2 merch stores. Peruse them. Figure it out. Of course, join the fucking Discord, as I've mentioned. And last but not least, if you have an extra $5 lying around per month, patreon.com/thedropshot. Your measly, meager $5 per month gets you 4 bonus episodes per month. What a deal. What a fucking deal. 4 bonus episodes of your favorite podcast for only $5 per month.
Such a deal.
Per month. You spend more on that on a Starbucks latte, you fat piece of sugary shit. Spend it on us instead. You'll get stimulating, titillating content for those $5 instead of inflicting yourself with diabetes. So figure it out. Patreon.com/thedropshot. And of course, last but not least, an extra special thank you to our Damascus patrons. Mr. Salmonella, Jay Pritch, Slivovitz, Jake Down, Zerosio, Rainman, Sandstoner, Tequila Sir Rockingbird, Face Esquire, Gift Curse, Adam H, Stiff Sniff Hambone, change it, Jimmy M, Von Trapp, Aussie Menace, Vesterg, Godadote, Josh V, Yep Buddy, change it, Civ, Famous Were Kid, the biggest change it I've ever heard, Sly, Dr. J Webb, Patrick C, Derek R, It's the Pickle, Hunter, and an extra double special thank you with sugar on top to the Dropshot Patriarch, our one and only Obsidian patron, the Vaping Viking. Thank you all for watching. Tonight has been nuts. Have an excellent evening, my dudes. And as always, of course, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.